Thank you very much, Dave. Well, what a deeply frustrating day here in E10. And also a big welcome to those watching on the Orient Live Debrief, which will be released every Sunday or Wednesday after a game this season. Just frustrating, I think is the word, Glenn. It was just frustrating in all areas.
Very frustrating, especially the manner in which we conceded the goal. Yes, we were better in the second half, but when they scored the goal, I said to Joe, do you think they're going to sit back now and just soak out the pressure? Which they did, but I think they ran out of steam a bit. But they did do that because they defended really well. We didn't really sort of poke and prod them too much. Yes, we had a couple of shots, but we didn't ask too many questions of them.
I think, sorry Glenn, I think just on that, when you said that, like I think we was also expecting, they might have to sit in actually, sort of two banks of four, defend for their lives, work hard, but they didn't have to work too hard for the win, did they? There was no onslaught, there was no kind of, real kind of like, penetration or anything from Orient. It was just really kind of tame, I think.
What frustrated me as well, yes, we had a couple of balls which we flashed across sort of behind them, across the face of goal, and we had no one going in there. That's not the issue. For me, before that, when we had the ball, we'd gone behind in the game, our defenders or midfielder gotten on the ball, they're looking forward for somebody to show for the pass or a bit of movement. Too many times we were so pedestrian. People were standing still waiting for the ball. It was so easy to mark. You would have loved it. I would have loved it. I probably could have played against our sort of team today at my age and in Marshall with no glasses on.
I think you might get a few.
But at times it was so easy to play against, and they didn't have to work that hard for it.
We saw Rich in the first half unhappy with how things were. Northampton started so well when you could tell from the first 15 that they were gonna put it on us, and he'd be equally frustrated, as we've said at full time now.
Yeah, and I think just because of the manner of it, I think look, you're going to lose games, but I think just that wasn't a good reflection of this team today. That wasn't. I don't think that's not how he sees his team. And in the second half, I thought, like as Glenn said, there was no urgency. Pedestrian. I think we almost looked a little bit tentative as well in attacking areas. Like I didn't see like forward players or midfield players who kind of really believed, do you know what I mean? Like doing anything with actual intent, whether it's making a run, putting in a cross, trying to take someone on. It was all just a little bit safe, a little bit cautious, and just disappointing in that final third when we got near it.
I'll counter that though, and we'll come on to the action shortly, but there were moments in the second half, and yes, it came in the 60th plus minute. But there were moments where we see Josh getting down the side, balls coming in, fizzed in. But credit to Northampton, like they stopped us from doing anything for majority of that second half.
Yes, we did have chances. We did have, I say chances, half chances, right? But
their keeper ain't had many saves to make.
He's not made. He's made the one near the end, which I thought he could have thrown his cap on it, but he's tipped it over the corner. There's chances there, but not to the standard and not what the manager expects us to do. Like Joe said, a really good point. We got the ball in wide positions when Ollie O'Neill was on the pitch. Isolated their fullback one-on-one. We know he's quick. We know he's got a trick. Drive at the fullback. You've got him one-on-one. They're not doubling up on you. Go and do it. If you lose the ball further out the pitch, fine. Do it again until it does work, or then you change it up. But we were too, like you say, the word tentative. We got the ball. We didn't want to do that. Let's go inside. Let's pass backwards. Because I felt that they were playing almost with a bit of fear within them. They didn't want to give the ball away. There was like a fear factor there. But the game did open up because Northampton got tired and we got down the sides a bit more after the changes had been made. But we didn't do enough. We didn't do enough to get any points out of that game.
I think for me the word is intent. I think you look at Northampton today, everything they did was with intent. Whether it was getting the ball forward, diags, crosses, running in behind, defensively. They just showed a real intent, a real kind of belief in the plan, in each other, and I just didn't see that from Orient today.
Well, we'll take a look at the second half action very shortly, but first let's hear a word from our sponsors.
Is lunch at work awesome? If so, tune out now. If not, keep listening. Picture this: chef-made meals from local restaurants brought right into your workplace. No sad sandwiches, no tired menus. By tapping into the local restaurant scene, Fuda powers workplace dining for companies across the US, giving teams flavor, convenience, and authenticity. Half of Glassdoor's best places to work have partnered with Fuda. Is your team ready to upgrade its workplace food scene? Find out how at fuda.com. That's F-O.
Right then, guys, let's take a look at really the only moment that counted in this one then, and that opening goal for Northampton, and really frustrating, again, disappointing way to concede.
It was. Obviously, it came. We stopped it. Well, we started before we'd given the ball away. But it's a good run. It's a good run. He's crossed it, and the finish is superb. It's a great finish. Slippy surface because it had been raining, and it goes straight in. It's a great finish by the guy from Northampton. But we give the ball away. We spoke about last week giving the ball away in areas, and it come from us trying to be positive and trying to hit a quick free kick across the sort of middle of the pitch, and it gets cut out, and that's what leads to the break. It's just little things like that, but can't take it away from it. It's a really good goal from their point of view, but poor from ours.
Yeah, I think you said it there, Glenn. It is a really good goal from their point of view. You know, I think it's the left back or the left wing back intercepts it, doesn't he? And he drives with it. He feeds the winger, carries on his run, and you can see Northampton get numbers forward. Then the winger's positive, good bit of feet from him. Gets to the byline, puts in a good cross, and then the opposite side wing back, the right wing back, Hoskins, he's in the box there. It's a good ball to him, and then it's a really good clean finish.
And from that moment, you kind of knew that what the score would be. You saw, I think Northampton they went back five, made it really tough. They sat in, and that was it for the next.
You say that, Willie, but it's still like what time was that goal scored? 60 minutes.
Still
a good half hour to play. Do you know what I mean? So you say you know what the score's going to end up, but I think at that point, there's still a lot of the game left to play. Like we had plenty of time to go and create opportunities and try and score, but
in the sense of the way that Northampton then sit back and that they were breaking occasionally, they managed it immaculately.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, but they do that, and if you're on a pitch and you're winning 1-0 away from home against a good side who was in the playoffs last season, yes, there's been changes with personnel, but you think you want to protect the lead, don't you? You think when it's 0-0, like Joey just said, the two wing backs are bombed on, one's got the ball and he's crossing it, and the other one's bombing in. When you're winning 1-0, that other wing back don't go, he'll just tuck in and sit down in case it breaks down and come. Just manage the game really well. They managed the game really well. But saying that, we did have a lot of the ball in that second half. I'd like to see the stats.
63%.
And we did have a few. We got into good positions and got a few half chances, like I say, but it just didn't work. Just didn't work.
Let's take a look at some of the huff and some of the puff, but we never managed to blow Northampton down.
No, we didn't. We were a bit better in the second half. I think is this Josh here driving into the box and he gets done, doesn't he, for
another yellow for simulation,
which I think is a bit harsh. I don't think he was. I think he was outside the penalty area there, wasn't he? So he was kind of looking for a free kick rather than a pen. But yeah, we were okay, weren't we? Without ever really feeling that we were going to really lay a glove on them. I don't think. As I said, I don't know. We just didn't seem to click. There wasn't enough movement. There wasn't enough bodies getting in the box, or for me, like crosses. Do you know what I mean? Crosses, balls going in the box, making them defend, making them having to head balls, clear balls, which is what they made us do throughout.
I'll tell you one thing. I don't know if we've got it, replay of it, which was a really good bit of play. But the referee, I thought he had a stinker. Hopefully, I don't get fined for that. I don't think I can, but he had a stinker. Is when Connolly scores, right? There's a quick free kick. Ball gets spotted, rolled into him. I think it was Claire rolled it into him. He gets around the back. Absolutely stunning finish in off the post. The referee blows a whistle as he's doing it because the referee wants to pull the game back for an infringement which happened 3 minutes before, to have a word with a player, not even to book at one of our players, just to say, don't do that again. But he's broken it up, and the referee has absolutely killed us in that moment where it's probably the brightest bit of play, and we actually put the ball in the back of the net, and the referee's just killed it for us.
We've seen a lot of instances here. I don't think we have the one you're talking about, Glenn, but a lot of instances here where we have found a bit of space down the wide. We fire balls in, but against this Northampton side, it's probably playing into their hands.
Yeah, I think they defended really well. Northampton, balls into the box, they did well. The keeper did well. We didn't put enough in, I don't think, over the course of the game, or with enough quality. And we're not the tallest side, so I think aerially we will never really kind of cause them too many problems. But even like, you know, getting to the byline and flashing balls across the face of goal, I don't think we did that enough, or picking people out when we got into those good areas. We were just, it was all a little bit hopeful, I think, rather than you know, expecting us to go and score. You know, it's just a bit hopeful.
Yeah. I just look. We tried. We've had probably more shots than what I could remember, to be fair. But they were long range efforts, or there was nothing clinical in the box where keepers had to make an outstanding save. It's all been very close to him, or from wide angles. Josh Koroma has that one there where he can't generate enough power on the shot. But you summed it up, Ollie, when we first started this, and you said frustrating. It is a really frustrating performance. One from how we performed in the first half and how Northampton made us perform in the first half, to second half having a lot more of the ball but not creating what we know we can do. And that's the frustrating part, because this team's much better than that.
I think there is, it's still very early on in the season, but I think there is work to be done in terms of trying to find ways to break opposition down. When, you know, and I think it will happen a lot this season, when teams sit back and, you know, either with a lead or just, you know, kind of conceding possession and say, go on and break us down, try and score against us. We do need to start trying to find little formulas, and I think it will come. You know, obviously players are still building relationships and getting to know each other's game, but I felt like, you know, our three forwards, Ollie O'Neill was quite quiet throughout, but like, you know, Connolly was sort of not being selfish, but there weren't much chemistry, there weren't much link-up play or many combinations, or do you know what I mean, like knowing each other's game or what each other's looking to do. Like Josh tried to do one or two bits on his own sort of thing, but it seemed very quite individual at times. And I think, you know, as they train more together and get to know each other better, you know, hopefully we start to see a few more relationships building on the pitch. But it just seemed a bit disjointed, a bit hopeful, kind of someone waiting for the other person to do something.
That will come though, surely, in time, in playing games and on the training pitch.
Yeah,
but let's pull out a positive in the sense of Josh Koroma. He got the sponsors man of the match today, and he looked like the player who we all remember from 5-6 years ago, and he looks like he's got that bit between his teeth.
Do you know what with him? He's technically he's a very good player, isn't he? You played with him, you know him well. He gets the ball, he does things like in the first half, he's nutmegged the full-back, he cuts inside, he does a bit. We've seen him, he's scored goals, he's got assists this season already. He's a good player. For me, and I don't know if he's always been like this, because I've not watched him throughout his career, but I just think sometimes he can be more consistent with what he does. I think he's in and out of games too much. If you can get him, like when he beats someone, right, the worst thing for a defender is he gets the ball again straight away and goes at you again, because as a defender you've had scrambled, it's like, I can't deal with this guy. So when he does do something good like that, and I know we try to get the ball out wide to him when he was playing on the right a lot, give him the ball all the time, keep going, because sometimes he does it, then it's almost like he's catching his breath, like let's get it, and he gets back into position, and then it slows it down. It's like he's got so much talent, and he is such a good player. I would just like to see him be more consistent, but it's not only him. I want the whole team to be more consistent, because like we've seen the results this season, with won, lost, drawn, lost. It's frustrating.
An opportunity for players to get some minutes into their belts, maybe those a lot who haven't started today, in the EFL Trophy against Peterborough on Tuesday, and then another, I mean every game's tough in this league, but away to Port Vale next Saturday. We just look onwards now, don't we? Yeah,
of course, you know, we keep building. Like I said, it's early stages. I think one thing that, you know, we expect, and that looking at previous seasons, we know from looking at Richie's teams, is that, you know, often they start off quite slow, don't they? And then, you know, as he begins to mould the team into how he wants it to look, and players know their roles, and the team kind of, you know, starts to become more in sync, they gradually get better and better. And I can see it being the same this season. I think it's, you know, a lot of new faces, new players, and it's still all coming together. So, you know, I think with more training, you know, it's great that there's another game Tuesday for opportunities. Or I think, you know, it's people are still, you know, kind of staking their claim, and I don't think he's decided on his best 11 just yet. So it's opportunities for people, and yeah, you know, onto next weekend, where hopefully we see an improved performance.
And there's the transfer window still open, right? There's a couple of days. You never know, there may be somebody incoming. What I would like to see is a forward who likes running in behind, because I think we missed that, don't we?
Yeah.
Because always Donnelly and Connolly. Connolly comes short all the time. He's always looking for the ball to feet, and sometimes he does spin in. But if you've got someone who likes going the other way, it gives that midfield an option, and it scares the life out of the opposition, the defenders. Someone with pace who can run in behind, we can get someone like that. Unbelievable.
And wants to run as well, because I think, you know, it's a good point, Glenn. I think, you know, you look at our front three today, all technically very good, all you know comfortable, good footballers, all want to come to the ball, all want to be fed to feet. None of them really naturally want to run in behind. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure Richie will tell them to, and they will do it, can do it, but you know, they're not flyers that just want to, do you know what I mean, want to play on the shoulder and want to attack the space in behind without the ball. They all want it 2 feet, do you know what I mean, so they can do their bits and bobs. But it's a good shot. I think I'm
sure goal scoring centre forwards are really easy to come back
this
stage of the
especially
transfer window.
this,
Of course. Well, that's all we've got time for today, and we'll put today behind us. A massive thank you from wherever you've been watching, and thank you for your support. We move on to Port Vale next week when we'll do it all over again here on Orient Live. Enjoy the rest of your day, and up the O's.